Some players are born with the spotlight waiting for them. They enter the league with cameras following every step. Their mistakes are excused. Their potential is protected. Their greatness is expected. Danny Green did not have that path. He was not drafted to save a franchise. He was not expected to become a star. He was not supposed to become one of the rare players in NBA history to win championships with 3 different teams. But that is exactly what happened. Because Danny Green's story was never about being the loudest player on the floor. It was about being the right player. The player who understood spacing. The player who defended. The player who stayed ready. The player championship teams trusted when everything mattered. Before San Antonio, before Toronto, before Los Angeles. Danny Green was built by winning. At North Carolina, winning was not a suggestion. It was the standard. Green arrived at UNC as a talented guard from New York, but nothing was promised to him. He had size, he had athleticism, he had defensive instincts. But at North Carolina, talent alone was not enough. You had to earn minutes. You had to defend. You had to run the floor. You had to fit inside a system bigger than yourself. And early in his career, Green had to learn patience. As a freshman, he came off the bench.
Green defended by Nelson. Hansbrough's got Singler on him right now. Green driving, takes a bump, finishes strong.
UNC's in town. Last regular season game, he's very worried about senior DeMarcus Nelson. He said, I don't want him to use up too much energy tonight. He's scoreless so far, guys, but he has been talking to guys like Greg Paulus, other his teammates, and saying, just calm down, calm down.
All right, now they got to get a hand in the face of Danny Green.
As a sophomore, he still wasn't the star. There was even a moment when he considered transferring, but he stayed. That decision mattered, because sometimes the most important part of a winning player's story is not the game winner. It is the decision not to quit when the role is uncomfortable. Green stayed at North Carolina and kept growing. By his junior year, he became more complete. He scored, he rebounded, defended. He blocked shots. He made threes. He became one of those players who filled every part of the box score. Then came his senior year. Green became a captain alongside Tyler Hansbrough and Bobby Fraser. He started every game. And North Carolina won the 2009 national championship. That season was proof. Danny Green was not just a shooter. He was a winning piece. By the time he left UNC, he had played more games than any Tar Heel before him. He had more wins than any Tar Heel before him. That is the foundation. That is the pedigree. At North Carolina, Danny Green learned that greatness is not always about domination. Sometimes greatness is about consistency, doing your job every night. Then came the NBA, and the league humbled him quickly.
With the 46th pick in the 2009 NBA Draft, the Cleveland Cavaliers select Danny Green from the University of North Carolina.
Last time 4 Tar Heels win in the NBA Draft was right after an NCAA championship. Ditto this time. He's got energy, Jay Billis.
He's a good perimeter shooter. He's got catch and shoot ability and good range.
The Cleveland Cavaliers selected Green with the 46th pick in the 2009 NBA Draft. Second round, no guarantees. Played limited minutes, then Cleveland waived him. Just like that, a national champion. A proven college winner, cut before he ever truly got started. That is the part people forget. Before Danny Green became a champion in the NBA, he was fighting just to stay in the league. He played in the D-League. He went overseas. He kept working. He kept shooting. He kept defending. He kept believing that a winning player eventually finds the right team. Then came San Antonio. The Spurs did not need flash. They did not need a player to sell jerseys. They needed discipline. They needed intelligence. They needed a player who could stand in the corner, space the floor, defend elite guards, and never break the system. Danny Green became that player. Under Greg Popovich, alongside Tim Duncan, Tony Parker, Manu Ginobili, and later Kawhi Leonard, Green found his basketball home. He became a starting guard, became a two-way piece. He became the type of role player who makes stars more dangerous. Because when Green was on the floor, defenders had to respect him. They could not ignore him in the corner. They could not leave him in transition.
Here comes Gary Neal. Neal slips, gets it to Green, hits a three! Danny Green again from downtown. He's hit 6 in a row going back to game 2.
They could not assume he was just standing there. Danny Green was always one pass away from punishment. And on defense, he was more than a body. He was long, smart, patient. He could guard without needing attention. He could contest shots without fouling. He could stay connected to the Spurs' defensive machine. Then came the 2013 NBA Finals. San Antonio versus Miami. LeBron James, Dwyane Wade, Chris Bosh. The Heat were the champions, the stars, the team everyone was watching. But during that series, Danny Green became impossible to ignore. He started hitting threes. Then he kept hitting them, game after game, corner after corner, transition after transition. By the end of the series, he had made 27 three-pointers, setting a finals record at the time. Think about that. On a floor with LeBron James, Dwyane Wade, Chris Bosh, Tim Duncan, Tony Parker, and Manu Ginobili, Danny Green became one of the biggest stories of the finals. But the Spurs lost. Game 6 slipped away. Game 7 went to Miami. The record was incredible, but the ring was gone. And that is where the story becomes deeper. Because 2014 was not just a championship run, it was revenge through execution. The Spurs came back with memory, with discipline, with pain. They played the most beautiful basketball of that era. The ball moved faster than the defense could think. No one held it too long. No one broke the rhythm. Everyone touched it. Everyone trusted it. And Danny Green was perfect for that system. He did not need isolation. He did not need plays called for him. He needed movement. He needed timing. He needed space. And when the ball found him, he fired. In 2014, the Spurs beat LeBron and the Miami Heat in 5 games. Not just beat them, they dismantled them. And Danny Green became an NBA champion. A North Carolina champion became a San Antonio champion. He joined a rare UNC lineage with legends like Michael Jordan and James Worthy as players who had won both an NCAA championship and an NBA championship. That is winning pedigree, becoming professional proof. But Danny Green was not finished. Years later, he was traded to Toronto with Kawhi Leonard. And again, he entered a team looking for something bigger than regular season success. The Raptors had been good, but they had never won a championship. They needed belief. They needed defense. They needed shooting. They needed players who had been there before. Danny Green brought that. In Toronto, he was not asked to carry the offense. That was Kawhi. That was Kyle Lowry. That was Pascal Siakam. But Green gave the Raptors championship habits: spacing, communication, experience, a calm presence. And during the season, he reminded everyone he could still catch fire. 7 threes in a quarter, big shooting nights, defensive effort, veteran stability, Toronto needed all of it. Because winning a first championship is not just about talent. It is about surviving pressure, surviving Philadelphia, surviving Milwaukee, surviving the finals. And in 2019, the Raptors reached the biggest stage in franchise history. Across from them stood Golden State, the dynasty, the Warriors, team that had ruled the league. But Toronto had Kawhi, they had defense, they had depth, and they had Danny Green, another championship team, another role, another ring. The Raptors won their first and only NBA championship. And Danny Green became a two-time NBA champion, one with San Antonio, one with Toronto. Two different countries, two different systems, same formula: defend, shoot, stay ready, win. Then, in 2020, he would win again with the Los Angeles Lakers, becoming part of an even rarer club, players who won championships with 3 different franchises. But for Humble Fire, the heart of Danny Green's story is this: he was never treated like a superstar. But superstars kept needing him. The Spurs needed him next to Duncan, Parker, Manu, and Kawhi.